right. 200 out of a bowl?
I reached out to her shortly after I was reassigned, or whatever you call it. And her legislative aide kind of said thank you for letting us know, and then I didn't hear anything, so I emailed again and again. I emailed my problem. They said then I had to fill out a template. So finally, it wasn't until this week when I sent a more urgent email saying that if I didn't hear back from them, I would have to take action. And the reason, this is not a political campaign at all for me. This is about that I belong to SEIU 10-1.
Right.
And she's our #1 candidate. So I need the support of her publicly. And so that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, great. So we've had a chance to speak directly to Joseph Bryant, the Vice President of SEIU San Francisco region. We've had a chance to speak directly to Jane's office, and they are supportive of one, I think, which is really important, as Brenda just touched on, calling that hearing, bringing the light to the issue. What we're seeing today is folks who are frustrated because of years of discriminatory treatment that we can see, that we have seen for a period of time. And we have been fighting against it, but haven't been able to see the results that we hope for. And I think it's a positive that Supervisor Kim is saying that, yes, she, as on her role as Government Audit and Oversight Committee, is willing to sponsor that hearing to bring light to this issue. So the issue can be discussed at length in the way that where it needs to, where it is given the true credit and substance of the discussion that it needs to. So, I mean, I think that's a positive. And again, you know, what we're seeing is frustration from workers.
Right.
And
so when did the supervisor commit to doing this?
So we're meeting with the supervisor. So we have a meeting later today at 2 o'clock. So we will meet with her at 2 o'clock, and hopefully we can square away the details in regards to when that meeting will actually be held.
But I want to reemphasize what I'm hoping for today while I'm here is for her to publicly stand with us to say that she supports the resolution from the Labor Council that was passed earlier this month. I think that that's important, an important step.
Okay. And can I get your name, sir?
Yes, it's Joseph Bryant, the Vice President of the San Francisco region for SEIU 10-1.
Okay. And Brenda, I know.
So who are you meeting?
And who are you? I'm sorry.
I'm Mike Aggie with the Basic Meeting.
So I'll be meeting with Jane Kim's office, her legislative aide, Bobby Lopez, and SEIU 10-1, Joseph Bryant, the political director, Elizabeth Alexander, Brenda Barros, myself. We'll be meeting with her legislative aide
Says she's not here.
to take,
So how's she gonna talk to us if she's not
to take, to take further action. Yes, we need these hearings, but again, I'm here today because I'm hoping that she can publicly support this Labor Council resolution that was passed. I'm a city worker. I'm very good at what I do. Provided a lot of resources for my community. The community there wants me back. I want to be back. I do this work because it needs to be done, and I care about this marginalized community. So I hope I'm returned to that job. I hope I'm returned to that job. Currently, I've been reassigned to the centralized call center, but because of the occupational bullying on the job and the retaliation, that it caused me harm. So
So you're not meeting Jane King herself this afternoon?
She's not here.
She's not here.
She's not. I just found out she's not here. So I guess we won't be meeting with her. She's not here.
So yeah, we were hoping, I would like to get a public consideration. I mean, Black workers have been going through this for too long. There's so many of us. We were at the Board of Supervisors meeting on May 22nd. I don't think the video's up on the website, but if you go to YouTube, DPH Discrimination, look up the May 22nd action, there's many of us speaking out. It's not just me.
From the Labor Council to return Cheryl Thornton back to Potrero Hill Health Center and to take action against all the discrimination that's happening in the workplace within the Department of Public Health and throughout other departments in the city.
I'm not like a crazy person running around. I was harmed by all this bullying and harassment and discrimination that continues to persist in the Department of Public Health.
And Cheryl is very brave. It is not an easy thing to do to stand up to these people. DPH is a powerful institution, right? And so a lot of people cannot speak up with it. The reason that I'm so out here with this, and with me it's not about politics. I don't give a damn who becomes mayor or not. It's about, we got to deal with this issue. And I expect everybody to step up. And in particular, candidates we endorse.
Just to be clear, again, as Brenda and Cheryl touched on, this is not SEIU 10-to-1 sanction activity. So this activity, again, is the frustration of SEIU members who are talking and wanting to meet with leaders. And, Supervisor Kim is one of many of leaders that can take ownership of this. And there is a hope that, this issue can be addressed and resolved. Again, I'll say that at least based on discussions today, it's been positive to hear that the supervisor is willing to take this on and take this on in a real way. So we're hoping that this is not the end, that this is something that can continue to grow to be able to take on the systemic issues that our workers are facing. So we hope for all leaders in San Francisco to be able to help us and support us in taking this off. And again, it's a positive to hear from the office that they are willing to take it on.
So you being vice president of this region, being
Yes.
here with her, means local 10-to-1 is supporting.
This is the issue that we've supported at many levels. We've done a lot of advocacy in regards to discrimination of our workers within the city and county of San Francisco. So we had a well-attended rally a few months ago at DPH that was able to bring some of these issues to light. We see it happen on a regular basis in terms of discriminatory treatment towards workers of color, particularly towards African American workers. So absolutely, in SEIU 10-to-1 is in support of addressing this issue of taking on discrimination of its employees in the city and county of San Francisco.
Well, I feel very good that Supervisor Kim has communicated to the union that she is going to support us, and we're going to meet at 2 o'clock today. But I again want to say that this has been a long ways. This is a hard road. This has been a very tough fight. And I can't give up because it's on the backs of all the people who came before me and the people who are coming in front of me. And I'm not here again for political reasons or anything like that. I'm not in opposition. I just want Jane Kim to come out and publicly say that she supports the resolution for the Labor Council. I think that that's so important for so many of us to hear those words, that she supports it, because she, again, is SEIU 10-to-1's #1 candidate. And I believe she has her platform. I believe that she needs to come out publicly and say that she supports that resolution.
The other day at the front of the Department of Health, that the demonstration, after that you went up to the building and they met with Garcia, and that
I'm not going to commit to any promises about personnel because there's a process that we have to go through. But what I would like to ask of labor is get a small group of people together that I can work with, okay? And let's go through each of these issues and try to get some resolution.
She said that she understands that there's a discrimination, racism in the department, and that she promised that to meet with you guys. After that, they will set up the meeting to discuss Was there any meetings set up after that?
We have had meetings, but she has not been there. We have had meetings, but she has not been there. I think she's supposed to be at the next one. We'll see if she shows up. But
Well, why don't you
any
ask David
outcome?
Canham, because he's been talking to her about these meetings, and he'd be there.
Scheduled to come to the next one.
Was there any outcome in that?
No, so what I understand is we had 2 meetings, and the union and
We requested her to be
to be there, and she was not able to make it. So this one, on I think June 19th, she has said she's going to be there. But the thing is again, I have been discriminated against. I don't even understand why my whole situation has to be going through a grievance. This is they're breaking city ordinance, state law, federal laws, discriminating. And that's why I don't understand why somebody can't take action now and look into this now. The city has millions of dollars of lawsuits. People don't want to sue anybody. They just want to be able to do their job. That's all I want. And I don't want to be harassed to do it.
I don't work for Jenkins' office. I work for SEIU 10 to 1.
$18,000 to her. Why can't you just meet with Cheryl and talk to her about what happened?
I can't speak for the supervisor, honestly, in that regard. I do know that we have a meeting where there's those commitments to follow through in regards to those hearings to really take on those issues in a substantive way. So I'm positive, and you know, I don't know what will come after that, but it could be the follow-up meeting with the supervisor herself. But again, I can't speak for her. I speak for the union.
So I want to say that no employee should ever be bullied like I was. Bullied, discriminated against, retaliated. You know, listen, I worked in that community for 28 years. Prior to that, my dad gave 30 years of service. My husband served as a San Francisco police officer in that community. My son is volunteering in the community. How? I shouldn't have to, as a worker who's trying to help people who need help, no matter if they're pink, purple, green, or yellow, I should be attacked like this.
You approached the many different supervisors or
Yes.
the candidate for the mayor. What happened to other candidates?
well, we met with Asha Safai. He's the only one that directly has sat down with us so far. He did do that.
No others,
No others,
including Leno,
including Leno.
London Bree.
Nobody.
And I did reach out to Campaign Leno's about this, because this is about what are you going to do for us in the city and county of San Francisco. Okay, because if you're beating us up real bad and we're taking care of the people in the community that already have trauma, then, I mean, what kind of services do they get? And they need it. And we're trying to make people's lives better, not worse. So I reached out to him and he had no comment. We sent an email, no comment.
That is
Leno, yeah.
And I'll say again, I mean, even today, in the last couple days, in terms of the commitments that we've received to call for real hearings that brings light to this issue, is a step forward. And what we need is all leaders in the city and county of San Francisco to step forward and be supportive with this issue. It is a mountain to move. It is not something that you can snap your fingers and switch overnight. So we need support, and I think it is a positive that moving forward we can now have a target for something that does bring real light to this issue, and hopefully it's an issue that, you know, broader can receive broader coverage into the challenges that we're facing and in coming up with real solutions to address the problem.
But I do want to say, though, on the May 22nd Board of Supervisors meeting, I understood that President Bree did open up some legislation on the floor. She introduced it, and she was calling for open hearings. So in addition to sitting down with Asha Safai, that was introduced. And I do want to make a comment about that, because that day, if you guys go to YouTube, DPH discrimination, and look up the video from May 22nd, no one else seconded the motion or came out and supported President Breed on that legislation that day. So then I reached out again to Supervisor Kems because she is our #1 candidate, and I felt that I could get support there. So that's why I'm here today. But this is not a political action.
And this is much bigger than politics. This is not about politics. But I'm holding everybody accountable. And like I said, I've been here with the city 38 years. I'm going to be retiring pretty soon. My coworkers have given me that mandate. Do what you can before you go, because we're really going to be screwed if you leave. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm not biting my tongue.
That's right.
Nobody's getting off the hook.
That's right.
Nobody's getting a pass.
That's right.
Nobody.
This is not a union-sanctioned event.
No, this is employees
Right.
independently
So
on
it's
our
really
own.
scary.
We're not representing 1021. I'm not wearing my purple today. Right?
but it's
Which
also
I always
scary.
do. I'm not wearing my purple today. Intentionally, I'm not wearing my purple today. But this is just about Cheryl Thornton and Brenda Barrows and Tammy Bryant, 3 disgruntled employees that are holding everybody accountable, including our union. We're holding you guys accountable too.
But I probably shouldn't ask this question, but I gotta ask it. So David and Joseph, you guys are here. It's not a sanctioned union activity, so you are here. So can you say why you came? Because we were thinking you were coming to support us.
Yeah, I mean, the point of me, I'll speak for myself being here personally, is to try to see movement. That's what we've been working on the last couple days. We wanted to get something sketched in stone to support this issue. This issue of discrimination that our workers are seeing in the workplace, and from what the office is telling us that that will be happening. So I come with the support of that.
Okay.
And also that information.
The question is why 10-1 is not supporting this as a
I don't know. I don't know why they're not
that-
supporting
that-
it.
why-
So
that's
there's a
leading
we didn't
question.
organize the event, but we support the issue.
Okay.
We support Cheryl's fight to get her reinstated. We've got a grievance filed. We've got charges being filed. We've put it on the agenda with the Department of Public Health. We're getting it to everyone that's important in the city to know about the issue, how Cheryl was treated, but also about the whole issue about discrimination that members have brought to us. So just because we didn't organize the event doesn't mean that we don't care about what happened to Cheryl or we don't care about racism in the city.
So
we
there
the
might
one,
be a
we
chance-
organized the rally against Barbara Garcia. The union did that in support of Cheryl and to highlight the issue.
So there might be a chance in the future if this doesn't solve, 10-1 might organize as an official thing to
We
do
have
some
been
action.
organizing. We will continue to organize
right.
this issue. We're not going to get this issue solved with any press conference. We're not necessarily going to get it solved with any rally. What it's going to take is a multi-tiered effort and organization, internal organization, external organization, finding allies who can help support our challenges, support from leadership in the city and counties of San Francisco, support of department heads within the city and county of San Francisco to get this resolved. This is not a new issue, as it's been outlined many times again. This issue has been going on historically and is systemic, and SEIU 10-1 is absolutely in support of taking on discriminations at all levels, at the workplace, in the community, and anywhere else it may persist. So to be clear on record, SEIU 10-1 is absolutely in support of taking on any levels of discrimination that anybody, black, brown, Asian, or disabled, LGBTQ, whatever you may be in facing discrimination, we are wholeheartedly opposed to that and will fight it.
Again, I did not get due process. They say it's a personnel matter. But in personnel matters, an employee gets due process. So that means they get questioned first. I didn't have any of that. This was an unlawful transfer. Be clear, this is discrimination. And they're retaliating against me. And it is hard. It is hard. I wish it could move faster. I don't understand why the process has to be so long to put me through so much harm. Each day I'm getting more harmed by this process. So I want to know, why can't it go faster? Why can't? That's why I wanted James Kim to be here today to say that she was going to stand with us publicly on this resolution.
The classic case is Dr. Kerr. Right? They had to pay him $800 and something thousand because of that same kind of harassment. His case, he was harassed because he was a whistleblower, because he told that management was spending money that was supposed to go to patients on parties and things like that instead. And it wasn't going to the patients like it was supposed to go to. And so they fired him, he sued, he got his job back, but why would he ever want to work there? And see, one of the problems that we have is about harassment. Like even now, right? Me just speaking up at all, there's a potential that I'm going to get harassed. I've even felt pressure from within my workplace. But I'm fortunate enough, just like I said, where I've been there enough time to where I can say, screw you, I'm retiring, and get away from the situation. There are many, many, many other African Americans out there who are not in that position. They have to do like I did my first 10 years, right? Just shut your mouth, take it, because you don't want to lose your job and you're trying to make it to the point to where you're vested, to where you can get your pension, to make sure your family's taken care of if something happens to you. And that's why we tolerate a lot. But I really don't see the progress that I want to see. I see peripheral little things that people are doing, but no real change. I don't see any real change. The same people that were suffering yesterday are suffering today. The same people I know that were suffering a month ago are still suffering today. And that's my frustration. I want to see real change. I don't want to hear any more talk. I'm done with talk. People talk. I want to do. I want to see action. And that's why even with this thing with Kim, I want to see it in writing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to hold them, whoever says whatever they say, accountable, because I want it in writing. There's a lot of issues related to African Americans that need to be dealt with. The fact that you can't get hired with the city now. It's very difficult for African Americans to get hired, even in places where a majority of the people they treat are African American. There are very few. If you look at public health, it's like 46% Asian. That's a problem, because that means that nobody else can get those jobs.
Oh, the work employees are
46%
Laguna
Asian
Honda is over
for
80%.
public health. Laguna Honda Hospital is over 80%.
Asian. Filipino American, yes.
So it's not about them, right? It's not their fault. I don't blame the people that are working, right? I don't want people thrown all out of their job, because that's a line people try to use when they don't want to confront this. It's not about getting them thrown out of their jobs. It's about going forward. We want to make sure everybody gets their cut. Everybody gets their piece of the pie. Everybody can afford to live here. I know we as a union have supported many, many, many housing things. None of it helps anybody I work with. And that's a problem for me. We need housing things that allow me to live in San Francisco and not have to commute to Antioch
We
to
also
work.
need equal employment, equal opportunity in employment and their hiring practices. Because even if you do get a job, you can't get promoted.
Right. And if you do get a job, you get harassed.
Right.
You have to deal with all these people who are of a different culture, who have no understanding of African Americans, don't want to know about African Americans. We get treated as if we don't have a culture, and we all know we do. You know, the way we speak, just like I'm speaking to you right now, people would say, oh, she's angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about. And I'm serious, deadly serious about what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to stop. Nobody is going to get me to stop.
And I also want to bring up one more point. So when I first was a whistleblower and then and I received this letter to be reassigned, I contacted, because on the controller's website it says if you're facing retaliation, contact the Ethics Commission, which I did. I contacted the Ethics Commission, and I was told that my case couldn't even be investigated for 12 months. I said, well, I won't be able to stay in my job. I'm facing retaliation. By the time you get to me, I'll be gone. And the wrongdoers, they will have gotten away. They're still sitting there in their job, and I've been harmed. I've been harmed because I've been trying to fight for the rights of the people in the community. Our patients are sick. You've heard about the toxins in District 10. People are getting sick. My own father worked there for many years and developed some rare cancer. Now I wonder, was it because of the toxins in the community? I don't know. But these are the issues, and we're being targeted for talking about it because really and truthfully it feels like planned gentrification. Anybody who's advocating for the community, you're going to be moved out because we're displacing people. And we're displacing people from all walks of life, all colors, but it's all about the working class. This city has to get around this gentrification problem. You know, it's harming communities, you know, tearing them down, tearing families down, tearing workers down. We don't deserve this. We deserve better. I give 110% when I am working to the community because they pay for that. They're taxpayers and they're entitled.